Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL 100 Game of the Week on EA Sports. Coming up, no Andrew Luck, so we'll see Jacoby Brissett and the Indianapolis Colts as they match up with the NFL's all-time passing leader, Drew Brees, and the New Orleans Saints. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
First opened back in 1975. There's a look inside the iconic Mercedes-Benz Superdome in downtown New Orleans. The setting in this dome just serves to amplify the excitement of the folks in New Orleans as their Saints burst from the tunnel a moment ago. They're set, and we're set as well as the Saints get ready to do battle with the Indianapolis Colts. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, you look at this Saints team as they enter play. They come off a disappointment last time out that put an end to their modest 3-game win streak. Meanwhile, for the visiting Colts, it's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really not as worried about that as maybe we think. They know they've got the entire offseason to rest. All they care about is the game in front of them and finishing strong.
It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. The veteran Drew Brees leading out the New Orleans Saints, who now sit at 10-3 following that loss to San Francisco 48-46 in Week 14. You saw it in person. Drew Brees, 5 touchdown passes. He was really, really good.
He was, and against a ferocious pass rush, because San Francisco came into the game with 45 sacks on the year, #1 in the league. Drew Brees doesn't go down at all in terms of sacks. He got hit a few times along the way. But remember this, Lamar Jackson is kind of the gold standard for movement in a quarterback right now because he can take off and run so well. Drew Brees is not going to do that, but he'll give you a clinic on footwork inside the pocket in order to get the ball off downfield.
He also had a rushing touchdown, and he becomes just the 4th quarterback in the Super Bowl era with 5 passing touchdowns and 1 rushing touchdown in the same game.
Yeah, that rushing touchdown was the patented Drew Brees leap at the goal line to get another score for the Saints.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 18 there, and the Saints have a first down.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out in front of that type of a play.
Throwing on first down is Brees. And that's intercepted. It's Darius Leonard, the 2018 Defensive Rookie of the Year. And he will score. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick-6 for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick-6 in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. Tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
Chase McLaughlin on for the extra point. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Picked up by the offense. This is a live ball. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6. And now the kick is away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Out comes the Saints offensive unit and the NFC Playoff Race. Let's have a look at it. And right now, a lot to like on that screen. They've wrapped up the division, now currently sitting in the coveted number 2 spot. Of course, you'd love number 1, but if you can't have one, number 2 is pretty good.
I agree with you totally, and here's the other part, too. The really good teams, the really confident teams, they're not as worried about being number 1. 2 is fine because they feel like they can go on the road and win against number 1 if they absolutely have to. The big thing, though, is clinching one of those early buys and able to sit and get a little rest as the playoffs begin.
Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Now Breeze. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Kenny Moore. He was trying to hit Thomas that time. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
Football going back to the Indianapolis Colts here. Charles, what has happened with Indianapolis? Now it's a 3-game losing streak. They're at 6-7. Week 14, losing to Tampa Bay. Really, I guess the problem has come in the second half. I mean, they have struggled in the second half in this 3-game losing streak.
Hard to believe, isn't it? Because they've blown a lead in the second half in 3 straight games. And they failed to score a single fourth-quarter point in those 3 losses. That doesn't seem possible. I know Jacoby Brissett's knee injury set them back a little bit. Adam Vinatieri's had a really rough season as a kicker. He's now going to have season-ending knee surgery, it appears. I don't know if we've seen his last kick in the NFL, but I still believe he's going to go into the Hall of Fame, maybe even as a first-ballot guy. So the Colts now head to New Orleans for a Monday night matchup with the Saints. That should be a huge game. If the Colts have any designs of getting into the playoffs, they absolutely have to win out because then they're home against the Panthers, and then they go to Jacksonville in the season finale.
And in that AFC South, they're looking up at Houston and Tennessee. Demario Davis there on the stop. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Brissett. He's got Jack Doyle. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
They'll run the screen with Mack, and they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A gain of 11 that time, and a Colts 1st down.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
Quick throw here to Hilton. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. But keep in mind, if you're thinking of staying on the ground, this is a top 5 rush defense.
Yeah, but I don't think you shy away totally with the run. At least show them the hint of a run before you decide to throw the football.
And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. Out of the gun, Brissett. And he's got his man. It's Hilton for the Colts touchdown. T.Y. Hilton, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. Well, early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you get the defensive touchdown early to give you the first score. and then your offense piggybacks on top of that and gets their own. And any coach we've ever talked to, and we've had that conversation with them prior to the game, they always say, if we can score on defense or special teams, that gives us like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it?
It does.
Brissett's pass complete to number 13, T.Y. Hilton. Touchdown.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. This time, the extra point up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that drives 7 plays in length. And the result for the Colts is a touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Drew Brees getting ready to go again on offense. And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I guarantee his first thought wasn't about the interception itself, but what could result. And I know he was thinking to himself, come on, defense, bail me out. Well, they weren't able to in this situation. Now he's got to go out and atone for it himself, but he can't force things.
On 2nd and 9, Brees. He gets this one complete to Traquan Smith. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It'll be a Saints first down on a gain of 16 yards.
The Saints spent a third-round pick on Traquan Smith out of UCF in 2018, and what a thrilling season for him. He was the guy that caught the pass from Drew Brees that moved him past Peyton Manning to become the all-time leading passer in NFL history.
Brees now on first down. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. 2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. 13-0 is the score after 1 on EA Sports.
Ready, 95-56. Hey, check. Ready, check.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long.
I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play.
Now Brees on 3rd down. And it's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds. So a big call there that brings up 4th.
And that's a crusher right there. Had his man open for a first down. Threw a fastball when that wasn't necessary. Incomplete pass. When are these quarterbacks going to learn? You don't get extra points for how hard you throw the football.
And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. They'll start out here with a jet sweep, and that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Out of his this end zone. Brissett taken in by the tight end Doyle. And it's a fumble. And this is picked up by the Saints. And he's into the end zone. A fumble return and a Saint touchdown. So the defense forces the fumble. They get the score. And a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.
And you know they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
We'll be singing in the shower post-game. Will Lutz on for the point after. And that'll make it 13-7. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. They'll be looking to make amends for the events of a moment ago. A fumble return for 6 points.
You absolutely have to protect the football. That's got to be priority number one because margin for error is starting to slip away, and now it's down to a one-score game.
A little jet sweep to start the drive. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Mack off the draw play. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
They'll run to Mack. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. That's good for 9 yards as they convert on the third down play.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And in the next breath, they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. They'll run on first down with Marlon Mack. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits, and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield, and he'll get it down to the 47 here. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On 3rd and 1, here's Brissett. Middle of the field to the tight end Doyle. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. That gain of 9 buys them a new set of downs. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. Now the throw here complete on the right sideline. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. And in the air once more, it's Brissett. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cameron Jordan, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Ninth play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile. Brissett. A good throw here, finding Pascal. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th.
Get him, boys! Get him, boys!
Well, that's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Doesn't get there. Hits the crossbar, bounces back out. He had it on line, but it comes up about a rotation short. Well, he had that one on target. That's half the battle. The other half of the battle, however, is distance.
And he nearly had that, too. But it was the crossbar that said otherwise, and that'll deny him a shot at 3.
Drew Brees getting ready to go again on offense. He and his team, they have had a rough go of it here in this first half. Maybe time for him to put his foot down here in the second quarter.
Put his foot down and become a little more accurate throwing the football. He's already thrown 2 interceptions. He's trying to find a way to equal things out. And instead of it going to the opponents, get it to his own receivers and find the end zone.
Yeah, you mentioned those 2 picks. No touchdown passes yet either. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. On 1st and 10, here's Brees. Forced out to his left. He's going to take off with it. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Brees. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 16. First down now, but the clock continues to move. Into the red zone. It's Brees. That is caught. Traquan Smith. Touchdown Saints. Traquan Smith as the first half is winding down, as his guys can now take the lead with the extra point.
We've been together a few years, and you know that I really ride the wave of old momentum, don't I?
Yes, you do.
There is a heck of a difference between being down 6 and possibly being up 1. And right now, they've got that opportunity.
No doubt. That is a big-time score and a big-time swing in momentum. Lutz with the extra point. And that will give him the lead here as we get on towards halftime. So that drive, 4 plays. And it all culminates in a Saints touchdown. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. 13 seconds, the time remaining in the half as they come up on first down. Complete to Hilton. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. A first down throw for Brissett. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. He was looking for Jack Doyle that time. But it'll be 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. They'll throw now on the final play. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. So we are at halftime here on a Monday night as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started.
All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Marlon Mack now heading back out there. And he's sure looking like a lock for a 1,000-yard season. Don't know if he's going to get it in this game, but he'd probably like to just to get past that point.
Yeah, and if he doesn't, as you noted, there's still time, still opportunity. There's still more games to be played. So, yeah, it's not a lock, but barring injury, it certainly looks like he's going to get there. And what an accomplishment that is. Anytime you get over 1,000 yards, you're celebrated in the NFL.
It's been quite a season. Still a couple chapters left in that book, though. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Focus, defense, focus.
They keep it on the ground. Mack again takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here. I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. This is Harris. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. On 2nd and 15 now. Breeze. And this one complete to Smith.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And King's got it. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 12 yards there, good for a Saints 1st down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Again, it's Kamara. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. And you can't do it much better than that. This ball kicks out of bounds at the 4-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And they begin this drive in very precarious field position inside their own 5.
And remember, this is a defense that's already scored once in this game, so you've got to really take care and make sure that you're blocking these guys to try and wedge the ball out from the shadow of your own end zone.
He's got it to Hilton. And they'll get him down right at around the 11-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Brissett. That's into the hands of Pascal. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. 7 yards there and a first down. Brissett now 12 of 15 throwing the ball. 80% so far. And it's 1st and 10. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Well, as we hit the home stretch of the regular season, just 3 weeks left. Let's look at the slate for Week 15. Some of the more intriguing games. Houston and Tennessee, that's a big one in the AFC South. Rams going to Dallas, Buffalo at Pittsburgh. That's a Sunday night game. And then Charles Davis, he'll be taking his park into the frozen tundra. You've got Chicago at Green Bay this week.
Certainly do, and I'll take a heck of a lot more than just my parka. I will look like Bib the Michelin Man when it's all said and done. I will be bundled to the gills. A high of 27 expected at kickoff. But let's face it, how much fun will that be? Another historic Bears-Packers game, and a game where the Bears have to have it, and the Packers trying to hold on to the number 2 seed. Houston at Tennessee, so intriguing. Houston just got jumped on by Denver. But these teams will meet twice in the last 3 weeks. A division title may be at stake. The Rams have to win. Dallas can actually afford a loss and still win their division, which sounds crazy. And Buffalo needs a big victory in order to make that New England game possibly mean a division crown. That's going to be fun when they go to Pittsburgh.
They go right back to Mack. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. A 14-yard gain for Indianapolis and also move the sticks. We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Some pretty good games all weekend. We may have saved the best for last. This Monday night game has been a dandy. First down, Brissett. And a catch made by Dontrell Inman. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. That's good for an Indianapolis first down on a gain of 10. Brissett now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. And he fires one that's intercepted. P.J. Williams with a pick. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
And as this offense makes their way back out, Nfc Playoff Race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas, and it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on 2nd down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Open man is Michael Thomas. Give him 18 there, and the Saints have a first down.
What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player, How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They
don't
get a
they?
little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
Breeze now. 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Pretty nice work defensively there on the first down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. They run it again with Kamara. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
And he gets it to the 34, good enough for the first. They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. Back to the ground, it's Kamara. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11. Great time there to come up with his longest run of the night. We just saw it.
Leads to a lot of satisfaction because if they're able to hang on and win this game, you know what else will happen in the locker room after this?
What's that?
Head coach will step up and go, great job, guys. Because of that, come in a little bit later tomorrow.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now Washington. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. An ideal down and distance to try to finish this thing off. 2nd and inches. Less than 2 minutes to play. Down to the wire we go in a 1-point game. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Running with Kamara, and he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. Try to pound it in, Kamara. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Alvin Kamara, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further.
Well, that was absolutely ideal for them, wasn't it? Trying to salt this game away. I think one of my kids just graduated in the amount of time they had the football. That was absolutely impressive.
Everybody wants those salt away the game drives. What makes them successful?
Well, when you're able to mix run pass, when you're able to control the football and stay ahead of the chains, I'm using every cliche I know, but that's how you get it done because you're not taking negative plays, and that way you're able to run what you want to run when you get a chance to call it.
They get one more as the extra point's up and good, and that will ensure that it will take a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie it. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So the Colts now down by 8. 1:50 to play. A 4th straight defeat looming on the horizon, barring a comeback here as they've got it with a first down. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He's got Jack Doyle. That's good for an Indianapolis first down on a gain of 10.
It's a gain of 10.
That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that...
Now the ball comes loose, and this is picked up by the Saints. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. And they were hoping to get down there, get the score, and get this thing into overtime. How deflating.
Absolutely. I mean, let's face it, heartbreaking. They had an opportunity, had a chance, and probably were feeling pretty good about what was going on, and that was taken away from them by their own mistake.
Yeah, the opportunity squashed. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And this one now not quite over yet. Still 2 timeouts remaining defensively. And, boy, having that 3rd timeout would have really helped here.
Yeah, another example of why coaches really stress saving your timeouts for when you absolutely have to have them. They go over this all the time. Here's one of those situations.
Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. On the ground, this is Kamara. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
In the back, offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
5-9. 50, Mike, 50. Let him know, let him know. Let him know, let him know.
Hill shedding the tackle. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11.
All right, I don't want to get too poetic here where they talk about, the eyes being the windows of the soul. You know what else the eyes do? They see the open spaces on a field, and those eyes carry your legs to those spots, and that's what happened on that play. He saw an opening and went and got it.
Well, he really hasn't ran the ball all game. 4th quarter here, need a big play, able to pick it up. So whatever the eyes saw and created, it worked. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Breeze leaves this one with Kamara. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Now the Colts will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1. On the ground, Kamara. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
1st and 10 at the 12-yard line.
Drew Brees with a kneel down, and that ought to do it.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
So this one, a victory here for New Orleans. And, it wasn't a shutout. They did give up the points in the 1st quarter, but 2nd, 3rd, and 4th quarter, they held them scoreless.
Brandon, if you throw a shutout for quarters 2, 3, and 4, you're going to win a lot of games in this league. And this felt a lot like, almost like if you say baseball, and the pitcher goes through the lineup the first time and the hitters get to see him, and then they come out after that and the bats start blazing, right? I think they saw their best stuff in the 1st quarter and just shut everything down from that point on. What a great, convincing performance.
So for New Orleans, they remain in the hunt for a 1st-round bye as they move to 11-3 on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for the Colts, the loss might knock them out of playoff contention as they drop to 6-8. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.